It's an infestation! If you thought Sinnoh had it bad, if you thought it was only Sinnoh that had problems, even Johto and Kanto are not immune to this vile disease that is spreading amongst the living. And by the living, I mean the Pokémon. It all started one day at Game Freak's laboratory, where they were experimenting on Pokémon Gold and Silver by making a remake, knowing that Rattata'd were everywhere in Johto. Unfortunately, their experimental DNA got mixed up in some Pokémon eggs, and now every species of Pokémon has been inflicted with a parasite called the Rattatattouium. Rattatattouium, you say? What is that? It's too vile to watch. So here's a Wi-Fi battle of Rattatattouium in effect. And now you can see the seriousness of the spreading, so I decided to bring out my bullshit punch, and I destroy the mutated Butterfree. So now he brings out this Infernape thing, and I just don't even know what to do anymore. All of the Pokemon, they just look so wrong and vile. So I bring out my Blastoise to see if it can do anything, but unfortunately it won't be able to do much, because as you can see, the Rattata have learned some new tricks up their sleeves when they breeded with these Pokemon. So I tried to toxic it, but it's apparently immune because it's a Rattata. So he's going to grass knot me and kill me off. My poor Blastoise! Seriously. Anyways, I bring out my infrared and I'm like, okay, I can kill off this stupid little Rattata thing. There's no use for me anymore. There's no use for anybody anymore. Because look at what the science has done. So now the close combat's going to hit me down to my focus sash as I get up my stealth rock stupidly when I should have gone for a counter or something, so that way I can count how many Pokemon have been inflicted by this terrible disease. So he decides to use his hidden power and kill me off with a useless crit. So infrared is now down, so I decide that I should try and roost. Maybe that will destroy the problem, but unfortunately it does not. Not yet anyway. So I decide to just tell my Charizard to go for the gold and air slash this mutant beast to death. And it happens, unfortunately, for it. So now out comes Rich, and I'm like, no, Rich, why? I thought you were a Salamence. But unfortunately it doesn't seem to be the case. So now the Rattata'd's going to rip through my Charizard. Poor Rattata. Why did you have to do all this? Why did you have to do all this, Game Freak? So the Charizard Rattata decides to go for a Dragon Pulse to take out my sub, which somehow works despite the fact that my sub is made of steel. So now I air slash to kill off Rich, which it was for his own good. I'm sorry, Rich. So now he brings out Take a Guess, and I'm like, yes, I did take a guess. You're going to use Rattata Bullet Punch. No! Why? They all die so young. So I bring out a nice treat, just to see if the Rattata will try to take the bait. And he goes out to Shell Shock. Look at the oversized rat. It's just destroying itself by being a Blastoise Rattatattack. Ah, the humanity. So, after leech seeding it to see if I can gather some more DNA from this to see if I can find a cure, it goes for an Ice Beam. and does a lot of damage to my ice treat as I decide to set up a light screen to protect myself. For science! As Shellshock keeps getting drained from health, hopefully I can find a cure to this maddening disease. Just look at that thing. How could it possibly be happy in its content state? So now out comes the scissor again, and Scissor is going to do some scissor stuff as I throw some leaves at it to see if I can just kill off the things, because at this point it seems like that's the only thing that we can do. But unfortunately it's not going to be enough right now. So Nice Treat decides to just retreat, and I bring back out my bullshit punch, and now he swords dances, and it's almost over for the Rattatattack race, for I have used my superpowers to kill off this scissor, so at least we won't have one Pokemon with Technician anymore. I can't believe these poor Pokemon have been subject to this Rattata'd disease. It's not going to end here either, I'm afraid. So out comes this Rattata'd, and unfortunately it's going to be able to do all sorts of vile things to my Pokemon. It decides to start using Calm Mind, which is a move Rattata cannot learn, but unfortunately it's got the powers of flinching in its hands, and Serene Grace, of course. So I decide to try and use more superpowers, but it's not going to be enough to take down this vile mutant thing. So Doom Desire is going to be able to live another day, unfortunately. And my light screen has just now worn off, so all of my protection is pretty much null and void now. I go out to my Nice Treat to make sure that I can at least try to protect myself, but I don't think it's going to be enough. He goes for a wish to make his wish that all Pokemon in the Pokemon world will be infected with this Rattata'd disease. As you can see, all of my Pokemon are immune with their sparkly barrier that keeps them from being infected. So it goes for a Psychic and uses its psychic powers to try and destroy the mind of my pure Venusaur, but unfortunately Venusaur's not going to be able to take it, and it gets a critical hit because Rattata has learned from its past and is now destined to take over the world, as you can tell from that vile look in its eyes. So out comes Scizor trying to save the day with its bullet-punching powers, but it's not going to be enough against this abomination-typing Pokemon. So it goes for a Thunderbolt, and I try to turn into a U, because that might help and confuse it to make it commit suicide, but it's not going to be enough at this point. All is lost for the Pokemon in the Pokemon world. If anyone can hear this recording, I'm hiding out in my underground basement, and oh my god, I think they found me! Somebody save me! The Rattata are coming in! They're going to kill me! They're going to infect all of my Pokemon! Ah! No! This can't be! Ah!